People always focus on how they can save money and spend less on things. And oftentimes that's the same in frugal living. We talk about ways to save money on purchases, but in the end, you're still buying something. We need to understand the why behind the what. Why do we need to save money, and not just, on things that we spend money on. We need to save the money that we have coming in. In today's video, I found a very good eye-opening article that talks about the actual reasons, facts behind it, true logic of why you should be saving money. So we're going to talk about it in this video. This article I found on MSN.com, and it was written by Jerry Graham, and it's specifically called The Importance of Saving Money, 18 Reasons Why Saving Money is Important. I honestly believe understanding the why behind something, just as a kid when they say why, because they want to understand the reasoning behind it. They don't want to just be told something. They want to understand the why. Once you understand it, it gives you a more ability, or want would be the better term, to do the thing that you were told to do. So once we understand the why, maybe we'll all have a better idea of, or a better want to save money. The article starts out with the title, Why is Saving Money Important? It says that we're taught that saving money is good. It's hard to find someone who would disagree, but sometimes it just doesn't feel good. It's not the first instinct. It's not the thing that will give you the first, quickest satisfying feeling. In the article, it says it's not always fun, however, and it's not always easy, but it's worth it. If you need a refresher on the importance of saving money, here are 18 reasons to save money for your financial future. So we're going to talk about these. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I will have this article linked down below, so make sure you click on it so you can read all of them. So let's get started. Freedom. We would all just love freedom, Isn't that the name of the game here? We come here and we just want to be free. It says, sorry, money is all about freedom. Yeah, the more you have of it, the easier it is to do the things that you want to do. You might save to buy a house or for long-term goals like paying for your child's college education, but what you're really saving for is freedom. It says, money in the bank means freedom from landlords, debt, financial fears, doing things you do not want to do, inferior product solutions, etc. The freedom that I am going after. So if you don't know my story, how I am searching freedom. Now, I was in debt in my 20s. There was no freedom. I could not even leave the job I was in because I couldn't find another job. And this was during I think the recession was from 2007 to 2009. So from 2007 to 2012, I was stuck in this job that I legitimately despised, but it was how I made money. Still wasn't a lot of money, and I was stuck because I was in such debt. There wasn't freedom. I felt as if I was just in this claustrophobic hole and couldn't get out because I had put myself there with the amount of debt I had accumulated. Saving money, not being in debt, would have gotten me out of that. So what we're chasing now, we have such a different feeling, how many ever years that is later, 15 years later, where we are now, my husband and I, with financial freedom. And that is one thing we would love to have. And meaning behind that would be doing what you want, for who you want, when you want, how you want. Meaning I do the work I want, for who I want, when I want, and how I want. I'm not stuck in a 9-to-5. I'm not stuck dealing with corporate America issues. I'm not stuck anywhere. I don't feel stuck. And not to say I feel that way now. No, I don't. I have a job where I work for somebody else. Yeah. 9-to-5. Yeah. Would I love to work for myself? Well, sometimes working for yourself isn't all it's cracked up to be either. You work even harder. But the point would be to do what I want. The freedom to not have, obligations every single month in order to be strapped down to that job. Once we have our house paid off in 2 years, that is when we will have financial freedom, meaning we won't have any other debts owed. Yes, will we still have bills? It's funny on this channel, people always go, well, it's not like you won't still be paying for your house. You'll be paying property taxes, upkeep, absolutely. But I won't owe money for a debt to somebody else. Yes, I'll have to pay my cost of living, my expenses, but I won't owe money to someone. So if I don't make as much that month, but I still have enough to cover my expenses, the general basics, there's a freedom in that. The next reason you should be saving is for emergencies. Let me give you a real life example, because these things happen. And it's funny the times that they happen. So our house, so within the last 3 weeks, we've shelled out about $7,700. What was that on? Well, we decided to paint our house. That was not an emergency. Our house had a terrible paint job. It faded within 4 years. It looked like it had been sun bleached like nobody's business. They did not use a quality paint. It was just a mess. So we repainted it, professionally had it painted. It is beautiful. We love the color. It's a color that's going to not fade, be more resistant to fading, and is better paint quality. So we spent money and planned that to do that, right? Well, what happened the very next week? Do you want to know? Our air conditioning wouldn't come on. And now keep in mind, again, 4-year-old house, air conditioning wouldn't come on. It was okay because it wasn't too uncomfortable. Thank goodness it wasn't July here in the Carolinas. But we had, and we also get our air conditioning serviced every 6 months. We had them go ahead and come out, so they did their service and check and see what was going on. Well, obviously, when they got here, it turned right on, not a problem, but they found that something was leaking. Was it the coil? The coil? Something was leaking. Anyway, apparently these things have a 10-year parts and labor warranty if the warranty is filed. The warranty was not filed by the builder or ourselves because we filed the warranty on the unit. However, we didn't know you had to open the whole thing up, get the serial number off of that thing, and file the warranty on the interior piece. Yeah, nobody told us any of that, so just an FYI. If we had done that, it would have been no cost to us because it's within the 10 years. Since it wasn't, it had just a 5-year parts warranty. Do you want to know what the labor cost, though, was to fix this thing or replace it? $2,500. So when you're knocked twice, right? It's just these things that come up, these emergencies that come up. And for somebody who wasn't in the position that had that savings, we put money aside every month for, household repairs. That's a budget buster. That's oh my gosh, what am I going to do? That's a $2,500 labor. Having the article specifically says having money saved up for emergencies can stop a bad situation from getting worse. So that could get worse because that person who didn't have that money saved would put that on a credit card, and then to get it paid off, by the time they paid it off with interest, the cost of the thing could be $5,000. The article goes, having an emergency fund gives you a cushion when unexpected expenses present themselves, and they always do. I say that the rain always comes. Eventually it comes. You're going to have the rainy day. This article in particular says it's aimed to have 6 months of living expenses tucked away in your emergency fund. Try to put aside $1,000 as quickly as you can. You can work your way up to 6 months worth of expenses once you have that $1,000 underway. Now, everybody's going to have their own opinion as far as what's a good solid emergency fund. Some people may say that's 3 months. Some people may say that's an entire year. I'd say if you have an entire year's worth of expenses saved up, that's a pretty good cushion and confidence to have there. But having something is better than nothing. So starting out small, you do not have to start out with that 6-month goal in mind. That could be the ideal, but start out with a couple of months, with 3 months of expenses. Now, keep in mind that's expenses, not necessarily your income, but you can do it however you want. But the whole point is, if something like that were to occur, you could cover it and you wouldn't have to go into debt for it. Another reason saving is important is understanding major purchases that this article says. So saving for a large purchase rather than financing it has advantages. You stay out of debt, you pay no interest or loans related fees, and you may negotiate a better price for paying in cash. There's also one less bill you have to worry about every month. So I'll get into this example. All my life I thought that you had to have a car payment. That was just par for the course. You had to have a house payment, you had to have a car payment. It was never, that's what was programmed into my mind. It was never taught to me that, or even a societal thing that came across my radar, that I didn't actually have to have a payment. So when I met my husband, he was talking about, paying off car loans, and I was like, what are you talking about? When you pay off a car loan, you don't, you just get a new car. You always have a car payment. Realizing how it felt when I got to the point where I paid off my first vehicle, that was the most amazing. If you haven't felt it, not having that payment was amazing. So realizing that you could save for major purchases. So we did that, and then the next time I needed to buy a vehicle, and you may have heard this story on my channel, I'll talk about it, but I spent 2 years saving up for a major purchase of my new vehicle, and I bought it in January of 2020. At the time, what was happening, and so around March I was kind of kicking myself because I was like, well, it might have been better for me to keep that money in the bank, not knowing what would happen. However, now looking back on it, it was the best decision because of the cost of vehicles now, and the fact that I was able to pay cash, which was a huge incentive. So I saved up, and I spent that 2 years also researching, so that when I did pay that cash for that vehicle, I would get the best vehicle for my needs and my future needs, and the best vehicle that would work for me and my lifestyle. The vehicle also that I absolutely loved. And I have it, and I still get compliments on it today when somebody gets in and sees how roomy it is, but it's not a 3-seat, SUV, and it doesn't kill gas. I spent my time trying to find the best purchase. So major purchases can be things that are vacations as well, or new refrigerators. Now you could have big bucket funds versus specific items. If you're doing smaller, you have a smaller income, it could be a new computer that you save up $50 a month so that in a year you can get a new computer. It doesn't have to be these large, $20,000-$30,000 expenses. It could be things such as, a down payment on a house as well. One of the other important reasons to save money identified in this article I really wanted to talk about. Again, there's more than I'm just talking about, so check out the link in the description. But it's number 9, which is major life events. They happen. And sometimes they happen randomly. In the instance of, and thank you all for your support and your kind wishes for the family friend that passed away. I sent those to the family because, they are the ones who need that support. So I sent that wonderful energy you guys sent to us, or sent to me on this channel, and I sent that in time and space through my God to that family. They are struggling because it was not struggling. They are surviving, but it was sudden, and I'm just trying to lift them up with love. The point is, it's a major life event. Says most major life changes will affect you financially. Being prepared for them is important. Whether expected or sudden, major life events usually involve spending a lot of money all at once. So having that fund, that savings, can help you to not add fuel to the fire when you're going through either one of these sad or angering or difficult situations. Sometimes they're happy situations, which can then cause a happy situation to be stressful. And it lists some of those impactful life events, such as getting married, starting a family, moving across the country, caring for elderly parents, divorce, a death in the family. This is with a solid savings plan in place, you might navigate your way through these events without draining your finances and going into debt. It just adds to the pain of it, right? So you've got the wonderful things like starting a family or getting married with added stress of money and how you're going to pay for those things. You're going to take away from the joy of that. With a divorce or a death in the family, that is painful. And adding financial struggles onto that is an unnecessary hurt that many people feel every single day. And if you can make strides, and this video can give you the why you need to make saving an importance a priority, and it'll give you the fire under your rear end, I guess, to really figure out how you can start squirreling away nuts of money, then do so. The next one is stress reduction. It is proven that stress causes dis-ease in the body. And financial stress can weigh heavily on the most solid of foundations of friendships, relationships, marriage, family. There's more in this article that talks about marriage and why saving money is good there. But stress, the article, I didn't even read this part first, and when I talked about the health problems, it says constant stress causes many health problems that can lead to untimely death. Stress leads to depression, weight gain, ulcers, high blood pressure, heart disease, or other negative health consequences. You can ease financial stress and potential health problems with saving a percentage of your paycheck. I mean, how easy is that? You can, be healthier, live a longer life by saving money, and people don't put those two together. But stress breaks things apart, it blows things up, it also just causes your back issues. If you start to feel pain here or in your hips, that is where the energy of stress will go, and then you'll have back problems. You'll need to be seeing chiropractors, you'll be going for all these tests and injections and medications, and likely it's because it probably all started off with stress sitting energetically somewhere around that area in your body. The last one I'm going to read in this article, again, there's more, is to leave it on a good note. And it is saving money for fun stuff. Because, going through life, and I say this on my channel, being super frugal, never doing anything, at the end of your life, you're going to say, I saved all this money, look at all this money. But I never did anything for me. I didn't go get that coffee that I wanted. I didn't never go on vacation. I never, splurged on a gift for my kids. There's a balance to everything, right? There's a balance of negative and positive to everything. There's a balance of eating. It doesn't say you should never have a donut, you should never have ice cream, you should never, have a good juicy steak. There's a balance. You wouldn't have a steak 3 times a day. You wouldn't have ice cream 3 times a day. You wouldn't do so much fun stuff that you never have money for those emergencies. But having fun and doing things in life, being the creation you are, is what you're meant to be here for. And you should try to work joy and fun into your everyday. The article says there's a long list of practical things and life events you should save money for, right? We can all say that. But that doesn't mean you can't save for fun things too. But by saving for anything, you exercise discipline, delay gratification, and condition yourself. If saving for a new outfit or a PlayStation gets you saving regularly, it is not all bad or totally frivolous. Making sacrifices to save more money, feels like a real grind at times. You get sick of being frugal. Sometimes you need a win, any win, to get past those feelings. It feels great reaching any financial goal, big or small. Don't feel guilty saving for fun. Having a fun, attainable goal makes putting aside money every month easier. So how I think about this is almost the carrot, the horse and the carrot going after it. I think about, if I didn't have an end goal or something fun that I would be planning to do, the saving money would seem monotonous, right? It would seem you would get over it real quick. For me, the life and financial freedom and the wonderful things I want to go do and see and be once we have our house paid off, and not to say we don't have fun now, that is the end goal. And that is the long-term goal, which is not that far off. However, it's one of those things that I can see and gives me excitement. I know it's going to be fun and there's going to be joy and there's a reason for it. But I also am a believer in doing little things in between. We could probably get to paying off our house a lot quicker. However, we're going on vacation. We're going to go, I don't know, to the Tweetsie Railroad this year, take our daughter there. Little things that are experiences in life that if you have the funds to do so, you should do so. Enjoy or create memories with your loved ones, because that's what's going to remain behind when you leave. Keep doing those things. Whereas a goal could be gotten to quicker if you were beans and rice all the time, you should still, my personal opinion, it would be to still enjoy some life within moderation, within your budget. And that's going to look different for everybody. And again, this is just my personal opinion, so you may have a completely different opinion. So again, there are many more in the article. It will be linked below. I definitely encourage you to read it. This is one of the more interesting, fun articles for me to have gone through in the past while. So check it out. If you enjoy it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos, and both do certainly help me out, and I greatly, greatly appreciate your support.